Newest edition of Cribs.
Let's do this.
Let's do it.
Before we begin.
Yeah, there you go.
Y'all. Thank you. And I just want to say how much I appreciate Puff Daddy for doing the kinds of work that he's doing, because he doesn't have to do this. But this is part of what is important about giving back.
We applaud you, and I want to apologize for not sweating, but I do this so much. I'm so cool. I just want y'all to see everybody I'm interviewing is sweating. I'm not even touching my brow. I'm so cool, and I want to apologize. I ain't trying to make you look bad or nothing like that, but I'm just so cool. We
T-shirt. I tell you, if he was wearing one of those fancy designer clothes he's designing, he'd be sweating just like me.
You mess with Obama, the feds come for you. P Diddy had dirt on everybody. That's why he was allowed to operate for so long. People were scared of him. P Diddy was a billionaire. P Diddy was bullying people. He literally had people killed. He messed with a lot of people, but all those people were below him. They couldn't touch him until he with the wrong guy. And that wrong guy is Barack Hussein Obama, who's born on the 4th, became president of the United States and is the shadow president for even longer than that. He had Barack Obama on tape. Big no-no. Do not mess with Barack Obama.
She did not ask for the role, but Beverly Eckard accepted it with passion and grace, becoming an advocate for all those who lost loved ones in the 9/11 terror attacks.
That's it. There's no more time. 3 years is too long to wait.
Eckard's husband, Sean Rooney, died at the World Trade Center. Sunday would have been his 58th birthday, and Eckard was flying to Buffalo to mark the occasion with family. She perished when Flight 3407 crashed. Just a few days ago, President Obama met with 9/11 survivors, including Beverly Eckard.
So she was an inspiration to me and to so many others, and I pray that her family finds peace and comfort in the hard days ahead.
Eckard lived here in Stamford's Springdale neighborhood. This morning, flowers were left at the door of her home with the note, "You will be missed." Stamford's mayor says Eckard was an amazing woman who cared deeply for the victims and survivors of September 11th.
She was very bright, very articulate, caring and compassionate. And the compassion, I think, is something that people forget about. I mean, she really played the role of supporting others.
And he was a CIA operative. Take a listen.
Well, there are pictures of Bush with his arm around 8-year-old Barack Obama because his stepdaddy, adopted daddy, Lolo Soetoro, had done a lifetime worth of business with the Bushes.
Wow.
Uncle George Herbert Walker, after whom George Herbert Walker Bush, Bush 1 president, was named, founded Halliburton in 1946 in Oklahoma. And Lolo Soetoro had been international executive vice president for Standard Oil.
There was talk of him being a CIA asset.
Well, yeah, see, he ran the death squads for the Indonesian army. On his own call, anyone could be assassinated. So when George Herbert Walker Bush became head of the CIA under the Ford administration, he just got with his old buddy in the oil business, Lolo Soetoro, and pulled off the hits. See, Barack's grandmother has been acknowledged as being the woman that operated the channels through which CIA money went to the Southwest Pacific. So she introduced her daughter, who had just had Barry, Barack, to Lolo Soetoro, and they got married, and Lolo Soetoro adopted Barack Obama. The name was changed to Barry Soetoro. Now, when he went to high school in Hawaii, I know about that high school. I almost sent my oldest son to it. I could afford it, but I didn't think he deserved it. 20 years ago, the tuition was $95,000 a year, not including room and board. When Obama went there, I've talked to 2 of his classmates. They independently state that the tuition, not including room and board, was $45,000. Now, Business Insider reports his income for 2017 at over $200 million net. That's after taxes, deductions, write-offs. For this last year, 2018, they reported it as $570+ million. And that's after all deductions, tax, right? Trump doesn't make that net. I mean, even some of the richest people in America don't make that. Why? Because when his stepdaddy died, he was one of the 10, 15 richest men on earth. and he left everything in a trust fund operated out of Indonesia so the American government can't touch it, that makes Barack Obama 1/3 beneficiary for the assets of one of the 10, 15 richest men on earth. See, so we got a game run on us. So, you know, that little thing that Bush W does when he gets with Michelle, they giggle and he gives her candy. The inside thing, is that supposed to be the same kind of candy he used to give to her husband when he was 6, 7, 8 years old?
Oh, wow.
All I'm saying is that when you hear the truth, it just hits differently. And it's the only thing that makes sense, because we're looking around and we're going, where are these people coming from? Like, it feels like they're just being minted as leaders. I mean, Kamala Harris didn't even win. They just moved Joe Biden aside and said, here you go, vote for Kamala. I mean, that's completely crazy. If this is supposed to be a democracy, right? If we're supposed to be having this system in which any person can be president of the United States, why does it only feel as though people that are deeply connected in a web of politics are the ones that do become presidents of the United States? Why does it always feel that it's somebody who has a shady upbringing, okay, who someone like Barack Obama, who spends time on an island, very likely was a part of a military program, people like the Bush family, like the Clinton family? Why does it feel as though we don't have the system that we purport to have? Something is very wrong. I believe these individuals are being bred. I think a lot of these people also are being selected.
A focused effort at people who are on a list of active terrorists who are trying to go in and harm Americans, hit American facilities, American bases, and so on. So obviously a lot of these strikes have been in the Fatah and going after al-Qaeda suspects who are up in very tough terrain along the border between Afghanistan and Pakistan. For us to be able to get them in another way would involve probably a lot more intrusive military actions than the one that we're already engaging in.
I don't know what you heard about me. And where are we?
Dropping classics on that ass. It's Teagan.
Well, we have another news story just in. You know, it looks like there were some missing details from that police report. Weird. As you guys saw from my other report, it was just released that his death was ruled an accident. And now that that ruling has come out, some new details have come out as well. It looks as if Mr. Tari Campbell was not only not wearing a life vest, and he wasn't attached to his paddleboard, but he wasn't wearing his clothes. Just saying that's a little weird. They kept a lot of things in the report, but forgot to mention that one little detail and probably just a few others. So, according to the now public incident report by the Edgartown Police Department, Tafari's clothes were found 16 minutes after the 911 call, but his body was not found until the next day. Huh? So a married man was found naked, and we now know that the paddleboarder is an unknown woman. We can't know her name for some reason. We can't know who it is, and she doesn't want to tell her truth because that might clear some things up. You know, that might make some things make more sense. Yeah, we're not going to get that. We're just going to get new facts on the fact that he was paddleboarding, not with his wife, but with a female, naked, with no life vest on, to a man that says he can swim, but people are saying he can't swim, but he was in 8 feet of water, so what was really stopping him from getting over to the edge? I don't know. Sounds really sketch to me. But whatever, it's the Obamas. Don't question a thing. They don't do anything wrong. I mean, what's to question? The whole Obama family was on the island. They were there. This is Obama's estate right there. The pond is right there. Secret Service is everywhere. They called the police, but they couldn't save him? Secret Service? Aren't you a little one step up from the police department? But, you know, whatever. Just another detail that doesn't make sense. All right, the math ain't math in here. It's not math. Still, no one cares? Okay. Question everything. Question everything.
Say a big no-no. Do not mess with Barack Obama.
She almost exposed something that no one was supposed to know. I don't know if y'all remember this, but Chrissy Teigen and John Legend was doing an interview, and one of the interview questions was, public place y'all did it. So from that standpoint, John Legend was cool and collected. Not until she said what she said, bruh. Y'all would not believe what she said. And the people that was doing the interview couldn't believe either. Bruh, right soon as she said it, you can see John Legend whole fucking body language change. Like, you can see in his face, he like, this bitch. They even asked him, what's she talking about? What is your wife talking about? He said, I don't know. And he looked mad as hell, y'all. Check this video out.
Public place, you did it. What did you? Probably the Obama thing.
Look at his face.
John, what's it? Oh, God. Oh, God. What?
What?
What is your wife talking about? I don't know.
Look at his face, y'all. He's smiling the pain away. Body language don't lie, y'all.
We're not talking about it.
Look, we not talking about it.
Not the White House. It was not the White House. 100% not the White House. I promise. He was not elected. I'm in trouble now. Oh, you're good.
If you still don't believe the elites are pedophiles, Chrissy Teigen. I'm going to jail over pizza. Google Pizzagate. And another one, seeing little girls do the splits half naked, I want to put myself in jail. I know now what parents go through when they are forced to tie their kids up in the basement. You have to do it, but it's icky, am I right? Oh, and this one gets me for those who don't think they sacrifice and eat babies or drink their blood. If you said eat this one bite of human and can eat any other meat the rest of your life, or Chrissy, you eat turkey forever, I'd eat a human. What, you crazy fucking psycho? Like, ew. Go worship the devil on somebody else's time. You know? Stop bringing this satanic shit to public platforms, weirdo.
Unfortunately, that wasn't the worst of it. Sometime later, she tweeted, "A little boy in the pageant now? Finally, some eye candy for me." And then let's not forget this tweet where he wrote, "Seeing little girls do the splits half is just, I want to put myself in jail." And to be fair, she sounded like every other PDF file out there. There was also this tweet, "Aw man, I confused doubt with notes on a scandal, man. I wanted to see grossness between a hot teacher and aw damn, man." And if you think this is bad, well, wait till you check out her tweets about Anthony Weiner. For those of you who don't know, he's a former US representative who got kicked out for some pretty horrible reasons. And let's just say that this man should never return to the business. But get this, Chrissy Teigen does not care about the severity of his crimes. She once tweeted, "I'm about to Anthony Weiner this." And fans know for a fact she didn't mean anything nice by that. And if you think she might have meant something different, well then you might want to read this tweet where she says, "I am going to jail over pizza." FYI, pizza is used as a reference by PDF files to avoid being detected. And Chrissy has made a lot of these tweets about pizza that are hardly appropriate. There are almost too many for it to be a simple coincidence. And then there's this tweet that had fans picking up their pitchforks. The model wrote, "I'm bored. Really want to watch Give Birth? Where can I watch Giving birth, MTV? I mean, that doesn't make sense, but I'll try. Apart from the concerning tweets, Chrissy also had the internet in an uproar when she tweeted about eating human meat. Her tweet read, "If you said eat this one bite of human and you can eat any other meat the rest of your life, or Chrissy, you eat turkey forever, I'd eat human." Now, some fans wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt and assume that she was only using an extreme comparison to talk about her dislike for turkey meat. But she sat down for an interview and doubled down on her claim. Fans don't know why Chrissy would say something like this because it's not like she's an influencer who needs to struggle for the spotlight. So the only other explanation is that she actually meant that, which is a disgusting possibility. Now you might think, how can Chrissy be so brazen with her comments?
Diddy is one of the most powerful people in music history.
Disturbing stories are surfacing about sex trafficking, sexual abuse, a shooting.
Heavily armed federal officials descended on Sean Diddy Combs' Holmby Hills mansion.
It was Diddy who shot her in the face back in 1999.
I was shot in my face. We want to warn you that this video you're about to see is extremely graphic.
Justin went on to say that Diddy had been relentless, constantly suggesting that Selena's career would skyrocket if she just mingled with the right people. But Justin knew what that meant. He knew the dark side of that world, and it terrified him. He admitted that the stress of trying to protect her from something she didn't fully understand was one of the reasons their relationship became so strained. He was living in a world of secrets, trying to shield her from the truth, and it took a toll on both of them. For the first time, Justin spoke about the guilt he's carried for years. Guilt for not speaking up sooner, for not telling Selena exactly why he was so protective, and for allowing himself to be manipulated for so long. He admitted that it wasn't just about him anymore. Seeing the recent footage Selena released, which exposed Diddy's inappropriate behavior, brought all of these buried emotions back to the surface. Justin realized that he couldn't stay silent any longer, especially knowing how close Selena came to being pulled into that same toxic environment. As Justin's confession continued, fans could see just how deeply these experiences had affected him. His tears weren't just for what he had gone through, but for what could have happened to Selena. He spoke about the fear he had, knowing that someone so powerful had targeted her, and how desperate he was to keep her safe. He described moments where he felt alone, trapped in a web of lies and deceit, unable to speak out because of the fear of retaliation from powerful figures in the industry. But his love for Selena, even after their relationship ended, was what kept him going, what gave him the strength to protect her from afar. Justin also shared how he and Selena had reconnected in recent months, not romantically, but as friends who had been through so much together. He said that Selena's decision to release the footage was brave, and it inspired him to finally open up about his own experiences. He acknowledged that he had made mistakes, both in his relationship with Selena and in his career, but that staying silent about the dangers they both faced wasn't something he could continue to do. In his tearful confession, Justin made it clear that his decision to speak out wasn't just about exposing Diddy. It was about shining a light on the dark underbelly of the entertainment industry, where young stars are often exploited by those in power. He expressed his hope that by sharing his story, he could help others who might be going through the same thing, giving them the courage to stand up and speak out. As Justin's live stream came to an end, fans flooded social media with messages of support. It was clear that his confession had touched a nerve with many people, especially those who had followed his career from the beginning and had always sensed that there was more to his story than what the public saw. His tears, his pain, and his vulnerability were all on display, and it was a side of Justin that many had never seen before. While Diddy has yet to respond to these new allegations, the pressure is mounting. With Selena's footage already sending shockwaves through the industry, and now Justin's emotional confession adding even more weight to the accusations, it seems inevitable that a deeper investigation into Diddy's actions and the culture surrounding his infamous parties will be launched. As for Justin, he ended his confession with a message of hope. He said that while the past has been difficult, he's in a better place now, surrounded by people who genuinely care about him and his well-being. He thanked his fans for their unwavering support and urged others in the industry to come forward if they've experienced anything similar. His message was clear. No one should have to go through what he went through, and it's time for the truth to come out, no matter the...
You know, if you walk around with that chain all day, people are going to be asking you, what's the science? What's today's mathematics?
Yeah.
All day long.
By the way, this isn't even my chain. I stole it from somebody. Yeah, I tell y'all who that was off camera.
You stealing chains now? Is it a world star?
Not really stealing.
Does it mean anything to you, though?
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm with you. I don't like the conversation either. It's like I call myself the God because I feel like it sometimes. I study a little lessons, but I'm not into all, you know.
Yeah. Religion is like a personal computer, you know. You let people in if you want to.
Let's talk about Diddy the Diddler. I don't know if you've been paying attention to everything going down with Diddy lately, but there's some crazy talk about what's really happening behind the scenes. Some people are saying that all this drama and legal trouble surrounding him might actually be part of a bigger plan to take him down. Think about it, Diddy's been on top for decades, making massive moves in the music industry, fashion, and even tech. He's built a multi-million-dollar empire, and now, all of a sudden, all this negative press and these lawsuits start piling up. Is it far-fetched? Maybe. But with everything that's happening, you have to wonder, why now? Why is all this coming out at the peak of his career? It's almost too convenient, right?
Big no-no. Do not mess with Barack Obama.